agenda, and they now need to stand up for farmers.
But it's not just Gloucestershire. This is happening in dozens of councils across the country. Let's discuss it now with Metcalf-Fisher from the Countryside Alliance. Mo, what exactly is going on? There seems to be a battle of the councils and the agricultural community.
There is, and it's one, again, just a little bit like the family farm tax, just come at the farmers out of nowhere and for no real reason. We saw it in Oxfordshire, we've had it here in London, in places like Lambeth and Enfield, where the councils have actually taken extraordinary measures to ban meat and dairy from even being served. In Oxfordshire, even if you wanted a cup of tea and you were a local councillor there that was subjected to that long meeting and you fancied a cuppa, no, you're not allowed to have any dairy. So it's been banned completely. And some councils have gone even further and they've actually signed up to this so-called treaty, the plant-based treaty. It's not a real treaty. It's just a series of demands by activists online, which basically go even further in that they want to bring plant-based food into schools and old people's homes and prevent the expansion or the building of livestock farms in certain areas. So this is incredibly coordinated. Thankfully, we're talking dozens of councils. But what we are seeing, though, Tom, is we're seeing veganuary, for example. We're in the month of January. It's a pledge or push to get more people eating less meat or no meat at all. You're seeing councils now. I saw today Hertfordshire Council was pushing veganuary. And on its website, it's got a whole host of quite extreme animal rights books that they're promoting to plug veganuary. We want to see an end to this. Look, councils should not be telling people what they should and shouldn't be eating. They shouldn't be jumping on bandwagons and pushing anti-livestock rhetoric in this way. It's terrible. We need to see an end to it.
I mean, I have no right to tell people what they should and shouldn't eat. I mean, when it comes to something that the vast, vast majority of people enjoy every single day, meat and dairy. I mean, it's as if they're trying to make it seriously abnormal. And to go into schools, for schools to decide this for their pupils, rather than for it to be down to parental choice, I think that's pretty unforgivable, actually.
It is, and actually, what really worries us, and we're going to be doing a lot more digging into this, is that parents don't realise. A lot of the time, parents don't know that this is happening in their schools. And look, there's nothing wrong with vegan food. No one cares if someone wants to be a vegan. That's a choice, but it's when it's forced on people, and councils need to back off. And we're running a counter campaign. We've already got about 12 councils to bring in their own motions, which effectively block compulsory veganism and instead allow councils to source the food that they might need for their meetings and events from local farmers and producers, be that meat, dairy or vegetables. So that's much more progressive and inclusive way forward and defies the plant-based movement, shall we call it?
So that's the pushback has already begun. But this so-called treaty that isn't just saying, you know, it's these councillors who have to have soy milk or whatever it is. Explain a little bit more. They're saying no more livestock farming in the areas of their council. Yeah,
in the areas in which they govern. That by signing that treaty, that's effectively what they're signing up to. It's a document that can be found online. It's not really a treaty, they call it that. It's not been agreed between national governments. In Edinburgh, for example, where they actually signed the treaty, when they outlined what steps they would take to comply, there was actually very little they could do. But it just goes back to the same old point. Why bother? Why bother causing that
It's a student union, isn't it?
It is. It's virtually.
Imagine a few little student union types sort of making these decisions for the whole of the university.
Student unions talking about Israel and Palestine rather than, you know, I don't know, like living accommodation for students. I mean, these councils should be sorting bins, not bovines.
Well, Mo, we've got to read out what the Gloucestershire County Council spokesperson has said. They say Gloucestershire has an amazing farming community who go above and beyond the call of duty to produce local milk and other products that people across the country enjoy. Any suggestions or campaigns we run are to provide options for people to consider.
We believe in personal choice and do not dictate what our residents should or shouldn't eat. We didn't mean to cause offence or to suggest people shouldn't support their local farmer, and we actively encourage buying local. We're very interested in this debate and are actively taking Gloucestershire farmers or talking to Gloucestershire farmers about how we can support them and discuss the carbon impact of all
They're having
foods.
lovely chats.
They just slid in the carbon impact right there at the end, just to put more impositions on farmers. Good stuff.
Well, Metcalf-Fisher, thank you very much indeed. You're from the Countryside Alliance, and thank you at home for watching Good Afternoon Britain.